Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video, we're talking about PlayStation 2, Nintendo Switch, Linux, and more. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about PlayStation 2 emulation on PC with PCSX2. PCSX2 just got a brand new update that changes the look and feel of the application, if you want. So at the time of filming here, the latest version of PCSX2 is version 1.7.4145. And if you take a look at the settings and go to interface and go right down to where you see theme, by default mine is set to Dark Fusion, and it's one of my favorite themes on this emulator. But they've added in a brand new one here called Cobalt Sky, and this changes things up a little bit and gives it a nice royal blue feel. Now this really isn't a big update, but updates like this often go unnoticed, so it's nice to shed some light on some of the improvements. And I'm kind of curious here, what theme do you use in PCSX2? Let me know in the comments below. And speaking about updates, next up we're talking about Nintendo 64 emulation on PC with RMG. RMG stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Rosalie's Mupin GUI, depending on how you want to interpret it. RMG just got a brand new update here to version 0.3.8. Aside from the standard bug fixes, Rosalie has added in a couple of things that I'm a big fan of. They've added in check for updates to view in the toolbar. They've also added in date and time to save state slot items, which is super handy if you use those slots at complete random. And they've also improved the updater behavior by checking for an update on startup with at least an hour in between checks. Now Rosalie's Mupin GUI is free, it's open source, it's available on Linux and Windows, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Feel free to check it out. Next up here we're talking about Sons of the Forest, and Kelvin here has kind of become an internet sensation with destroying bases when you're asking him to get wood. And interestingly enough, this game has sold a ton of copies. Night Games, the developer of this, says thanks to those who have joined us in our early access journey into Sons of the Forest, we have sold over 2 million copies in the first 24 hours. That is absolutely insane and impressive. Sons of the Forest is available on Steam. It does work with the Steam Deck, although not the best just yet considering it is still in early access, and it's fairly inexpensive. In Canada, it's less than 40 bucks. And speaking about early access and performance, next up we're talking about Tales of Symphonia Remastered. And this game kind of feels like it is early access because there are a ton of issues with performance, and that's really unfortunate considering the original game runs better than the remastered version. Fortunately, the developers have acknowledged this and do plan on fixing it. This is translated, but they do say, "We have confirmed that there is a problem with gameplay in this product version that is currently on sale. We are currently investigating a fix." At this point in time, until those fixes are implemented, if you've got Tales of Symphonia on GameCube, it's probably just worth playing on GameCube or even in Dolphin Emulator. It's really unfortunate when these games are released in this kind of a state. There's no need to rush it. And speaking about brand new, next up here we're talking about a brand new free Game Boy inspired RPG called Red. This game is developed by Derpy Doo Designs and version 0.1 was just released. They say the game is inspired by The Legend of Zelda, Stardew Valley, and Animal Crossing. The player can farm, fish, and mine to gather resources, sell them for money, or use them in combat and crafting. If you are curious about this one, you can play it right in your browser, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Feel free to check it out. And speaking about free, next up we're talking about a brand new Linux release, Tuxedo OS 2. If you've got a Tuxedo notebook, you might want to pick up the latest version. If you don't, you can actually use Tuxedo OS on other PCs. Tuxedo OS is based on Kubuntu. It's using KDE Plasma 5.27, a Linux 6.1 kernel, and also a Mesa graphics stack of 22.3.6. Next up, we're talking about the Retroid Pocket, and Retroid had a very interesting announcement. They've partnered with 8BitDo to make the SN30 Pro the official controller for Retroid systems. Now, I am not going to lie here, I'm a little bit confused about this announcement. As far as I know, there's nothing special from 8BitDo for Retroid. This is the official controller that already worked with the Retroid Pocket, and I don't know why they announced the SN30 Pro as opposed to something like the SN30 Pro 2 or the Pro Plus. I'm really confused here. We're not getting anything special or anything extra, at least as far as I know. If you know more than I do, or if you can make sense of this official announcement, I'm really curious about it, and let me know in the comments below. And last up here, we're talking about the Anbernic 35XX and GarlicOS. Black Seraph has been on fire lately updating this operating system. They just introduced a new IPU-compatible notification renderer, flicker-free filters, fast-forward and faster save states, and several bug fixes. On top of that, they introduced a brand new Atari 800 core. If you wanted to learn more about GarlicOS, I'll drop a link to Black Seraph's Patreon page in the description below. Feel free to check it out. You can pick it up for free here. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.